All right. Hi.
Hey, how are
We are recording. So, Erik, it's really nice to meet you. I have to apologize. Once again, they're working on the facade of our building, so there's a lot of banging going on, which is really annoying. Not a very good metronome, but it is what it is. So, can you tell everybody and me what you'd like to sing and work on today?
Yes, of course. I would love to work on Within This Frail Crucible of Light from Britain's Rape of Lucretia.
Great. That's awesome. So, do you want to just go ahead and sing through it and then get started?
Yeah, sounds good.
Feel free, by the way, to plunk away at the piano as you go.
Okay.
You don't have to, yeah, no stress about that.
Within this frail crucible of light, like a chrysalis contained within its silk oblivion. How lucky is this little light, it knows her nakedness. And when it's extinguished, it envelops her as darkness, then lies with her as night. Loveliness like this is never taste, if not enjoyed. It is just waste. Wake up, wake up, wake up, Lucretia. 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 As blood red rubies set in ebony, her lips illumine the black lake of night. To wake Lucretia with a kiss would put Tarquinius asleep.
Ah, fantastic. Oh, I love this aria. Oh, it's such a great aria.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, so good. It's so good. He's so interesting.
I agree. I was listening to the your interview with Nick on Friday,
Uh-huh.
and talking about Chris's character in Marnie reminded me a lot of this. And then I kind of had the realization that as a baritone, I sing basically this character 5 times in an audition.
I know, it's funny. I was talking to another, like a younger mezzo too, and she's like, why do I feel like all I'm bringing are pants rolls right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Would love it if they knew that I sang other things. I was like, it's
Right.
okay, fine. It's just sort of like part of the process, and a lot of times, especially like the bass baritones and, all your, compatriots, counterparts or whatever we want to call them. It's hard. The repertoire is hard, especially when you're young, right?
Right, right.
It's especially, yeah. Well, and then luckily Tarquinius is a young guy, right? And so you can,
Yeah, yeah.
as a young person, you can play him. How old are you again?
27.
27. Yeah, see, you're a young guy. You're like Tarquinius, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Age-wise, it's sort of like this perfect period, I think. Awesome, fantastic, sounds great. Okay, cool. So I would love to just talk about a couple different things, and see what you think, and also get your thoughts on different things. The first one would be breathing.
Okay.
I just kind of want to get an idea like what you do for breathing. I want to get a lot into the words for this particular piece, also because it's in English, and so I think that's a lot of fun. We can kind of delve into even the diction of it, just so that you feel like you're really, really like just really painting, with the language, and so you feel super comfortable. How does it feel? Also, first of all, before we even talk about breathing, in terms of singing for you, is this like a good representation of how you feel normally? And because this gives me a good sense.
Yeah, I think it's probably a decent representation. I mean, there's what, two E's, but
Yeah.
it's yeah, I think a good representation of about what my middle voice can do. I tend to get a little artsy, especially in the Britain, and so particularly in the second or the return of that main theme, I kind of have an issue getting off of the voice and not supporting as much as I need to, really.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then I always use the argument that it's only a 13-piece chamber orchestra beneath me, but
I know. And then everybody reminds you, right? They're like, you don't actually have to, like, right, I know. Get it, but you still have to support no matter what, right? Because
Right.
it's about the longevity of your voice and your career, right? So if you're always singing unsupported, ultimately you're only doing yourself harm, right?
Right.
That's the issue, right? So in keeping with good practices, so I love to breathe through my nose. I kind of want you to try and just see how you feel about it.
Okay.
I ask everybody to do this at this point. I find that it's a less drying breath. I find for me, I know I'm always asking singers to see if they can access a little bit more of that sort of upper resonance. And a lot of times when you breathe through your nose, you're breathing through that sort of inner smile,
Right.
like
Right.
smize area.
Yeah.
You're doing that and you're lifting here, and then as you exhale and you're singing, you're retaining this. I always think of it as like a pleasant smile. You'll be accessing this place most likely.
Hmm.
So I want to see what you feel about that.
Okay.
And then say something funny for me. Say, I was just doing this with some of my students, just my private students, but say how now, brown cow.
Oh no, brown cow.
Thank you for doing it in seniorese. I appreciate that. How now? So yeah, a good, but a very kind of a released. How? Yeah, how no? Not so much of that. So much as just released. How now, brown cow? Your nose is open. Does that mean something if I say that to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep your nose open the whole time. How now, brown cow? You can inhale through your nose and do that.
Oh no, brown cow.
Yeah, good. How now, brown cow?
Oh no, brown cow.
Good. So all those ahs that you're doing, I love the way they sound, and I kind of want to see if we can fit that ah vowel and then everything else that comes along with it into the piece.
Okay.
There are a few vowels, kind of like sounds. And I just wonder if you would feel more, I'm sure it feels comfortable, but maybe even more comfortable if we got that just to like even out a little bit more, not to be so bottom heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start again? So
yeah.
So within this frail, and also you have a lot of little leaps. I'm going to just keep on adding stuff to you. Why not?
Yeah.
Anytime for now. Again, this is just part of the process and practice, and for you to sort of feel things as you go and pick and choose. But within that, in is a long, half note tied to an eighth note, right? Do a good crescendo, decrescendo with your air, with your support. So you have crescendo and decrescendo really supported, and then just release to this frail, frail, right? You don't have to push up there or anything, which you didn't do, but just as another thing to add to it. So good inhale through your nose, and then start that phrase.
Okay. Within this frail crucible of light.
Good. How did that feel?
Good. A little bit more buoyant.
A little more buoyant. Yeah, it sounded it. Wonderful. Great long line. Just again, do it one more time and really kind of over exaggerate just for now that crescendo and that decrescendo, just to really kind of feel massive engagement on your support. It's already very good.
Okay.
And as you're coming down of light, remember that how now, how la. It's like how now, brown cow, la, blah. It's very like instead of la, light, la, light.
Okay.
Yeah, try that.
Within this frail crucible of light.
Nice. How did that feel? Do you like that place?
Yeah, that's nice. It's a little bit yeah, it feels like it's not getting a little less stuck, I suppose, is how I would describe it.
Yeah. So what's really interesting is because I love to make people sort of speak their text before they sing it. And I can hear even with your speaking voice, a lot of these sort of sounds are actually coming from your speaking voice. So even in your speaking voice, if you can say things like crucible of light instead of light, light, that'll kind of translate directly into the singing. I should just say it once. Within this frail crucible of light.
Within this frail crucible of light.
Good. Crucible. Think of that one too. Bowl. It's like quite open here and released. Bowl. So it's like up and over rather than like down with the back of your tongue. Let the tongue kind of release back there.
Okay. Within this frail crucible of light.
How did that feel?
Better, yeah, a little bit more lofty.
Yes, yeah. Sing that one more time and keep that loftiness you just found.
Okay. Within this frail crucible of light.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot more control there. I could more easily crescendo and decrescendo when I wanted to.
Right, exactly. None of these muscles were doing it for you, right? So they kind of let it become the responsibility of your support. Amazing. Great job. Okay, so like a chrysalis, again, la, how now, la, like a chrysalis. You got a lot of ahs. Like a chrysalis, right? Contact, and those open e vowels are sometimes hard, I think, with American English. Because you need to go contain, like if you say it, contain. So contain, it's like you want to kind of get it a little more forward.
Okay.
Within its silk oblivion. Great. Go ahead and do that.
Okay. Like a chrysalis contained within its silk oblivion.
Yeah, good. How's that feeling?
A lot better, yeah. Just more freedom and more control in the phrase, it feels like.
Yeah, fantastic. I would love it for that like to be just a little more kind of like natural speaking instead of like. Like. And so that also means your L has to be super fast. I like to sometimes put the L like as if I were curling the tongue over. Sort of like
right.
And that's like an over exaggeration that ultimately, but it's very fast, like a chrysalis. Try that, see how it feels.
Okay. Like a chrysalis. Sorry.
Breathe through your nose.
Oh, sorry. Like a chrysalis contained within its silk oblivion.
Nice, nice. Feels good?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good. I love that. How? Yeah. Right? I have coaches that I have one of my great coaches. She harasses me, and I love her for it. But we'll be talking about something, and I'll get frustrated because I'm not doing it or whatever. And I'll go, yeah, and she'll go, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I know, and it's like this all-encompassing. You can't, no matter what sound you make, whether you're singing or speaking, somebody's going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how now, brown cow? How lucky is this little light?
How lucky is this little light?
Good. So now these are great. How lucky is this little light? Thanks, Britain, right? Little light. It knows, make sure that N is very light contact between the very tip of your tongue and here. It knows her nakedness. He did all this on purpose, right? La 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 la, na 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 na.
Right, right.
They're all very sensual, right? Consonants.
Yeah.
So have fun with that. How lucky is this little light? It knows her nakedness.
Okay. How lucky.
How again? How now, brown cow?
How now, brown cow? How lucky is this little light? It knows her nakedness.
Yeah, good. Feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it knows. So how lucky. Did you feel the how now? How that felt there? It was just an easier onset. You know, you don't have to like do too much to it. It was very natural, and it comes from your natural, just the beauty even of your natural speaking voice. And it makes it sound just so kind of at ease, right? So it knows her nakedness. On nakedness, put the N of ness on the bottom pitch. The one before it, the nakedness, and then just release to that ness. And then there's something else I wanted to say. It knows her naked. Can you say naked? Like K-I-D?
Yeah.
Naked. So it's not too naked. Nakedness. See how that feels.
Okay. How lucky is this little light? It knows her nakedness.
Good. Did you put the N down there at the bottom? Nakedness.
I tried to. It maybe just didn't sound quite enough.
Do that just one time. It knows her nakedness. Do that again.
Okay.
It knows her naked. So that D, N are like super close. Nakedness.
Okay. It knows her nakedness.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That was good. Did you feel the kidness is just like, and when you go in more and more and more into that, like those ends, you start to like, they get like chocolatey, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so yummy. Okay, good. And so not and when it's extinguished, it envelops her as darkness, right? The words are I love the words. And when, so even more of that ooh, when. I would say whenever you have too many consonants, see if you can stick vowels in there.
Okay.
and when it's extinguished, right? Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Do me one favor. So sorry. take a slower breath through your nose. One that you can really find kind of as if it goes all the way down to your lower back and it releases your lower back a little bit to the ground.
Okay. And when it's extinguished, it envelops her as darkness,
Cool.
then lies with her as night.
Good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
How did that feel, the beginning part, when it's extinguished?
It felt good.
Good. I want you to play a little more with that, even more with the text, because it is piano and it's very middly, right? So even more. And when it's extinct, then we can really hear extinguished, right? Good V. It envelops her as darkness. Try darkness, maybe.
Okay. Ness.
See how that, just see how that feels for a second. Just do that first. Whereas you're breathing through your nose, that was a really good breath before. Keep on thinking of that just little pleasant smile, even though I know that the aria is kind of a darkish aria, right? But just think of that, like the part of him, if there's an ounce of good in him, let that be that little smile in him.
As darkness then lies with her as night.
Just sing as night one more time and put the N of the night down on the night pitch. As night.
As night.
One more time. Good slow breath through your nose. Think of that. How now? I want you to really think of that smile, even if you look at yourself in the video, just for now, just to see how it feels.
Okay.
As it's very kind of open nosed. As night. Just think of that. I want your space for those to really come from this like teethy kind of place.
Okay. As night.
How does that feel to you?
Good. Yeah, I think the only like the part that's making me self-conscious is thinking that it's maybe a little too nasal.
Oh, okay. Does it feel nasal to you?
I think just the feeling of the openness of the mask, or the openness in breathing through the nose, just kind of makes me self-conscious about it more than anything.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't sound nasal.
Okay.
I mean, certainly not to me at all. And I think the opening of this allows more resonance, the upper resonance. So we hear like all of the higher kind of the shimmery sounds of the voice, as well as all the bottom stuff, which is still there. And I think the key is to be aware of what you're listening to as the singer and what you're feeling. And if as you move forward, as long as you're feeling more and more free here, I wouldn't worry too much about how it sounds, because again, it's still part of the process.
Okay.
You want it to feel free, right? If you start to feel like it's tight and like squeak pinchy, then that would be something. And then I'd be like, yeah, maybe it's a little too like pushed into the nose or something like that. But as long as you're still releasing all this that you're doing so well, and opening here, you're kind of just bringing out more like of the sound itself, right? It doesn't sound nasal to me.
Okay.
It might sound more bright to you because you're hearing also on the inside, you're hearing more of these sort of higher upper resonances. Do that one more time.
Okay.
Then how now? Then lies with her as night. Good, really good.
Okay. Then lies with her
Yeah, it's great. How's that feel? That felt like a good combination of all of the things.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like you were, and I get that's part of it, right? Sometimes you have to try one thing and kind of go over there, see what it is that you're accessing with that, and then kind of bring, okay, now I get it, and you kind of bring it into, it's never like just one thing only. It's so many different things. Okay, great. Go on.
Okay.
Ah, how now, loveliness.
Loveliness like this is never taste if not enjoyed. It is just waste.
Nice. Good. How's that feel to you?
Good. Yeah. That's that E is always so odd to me. I feel like E is the note that I can sing more open or mixed or turned. It really is like the bottom note of my second passaggio, it feels like.
Right.
So knowing what to do with it when is always a point of contention in anything I sing.
I hear you. Well, let's play around with it. What I would love for you to feel is just generally more ease as you open into that loveliness, right? I think the L is not particularly friendly again. Those L's are tricky. So maybe just for now, let's do it once without the L. And instead of this, like the sense of instead of love, just bring the back of the tongue that's pressing down just a little bit and just let it like, just let it come out a little bit, just so it's not la, a little more like loveliness.
Yeah.
Try that, and now try it on first. So like loveliness. Yep.
Okay. Loveliness like this.
Good. How did it feel? We're just kind of see if we can breathe into it.
Yeah.
Do it one more time. Take a nice slow deep breath again. And as you go into it, just release that air into it. Don't worry about placing it or making it any particular dynamic. Just loveliness.
Okay. Loveliness like this.
Yeah, good. So I feel a little bit just more just like kind of get the sound out.
Definitely.
Good. Loveliness. Okay, now add some dynamics to it. Add them, but throughout the long notes as you're holding them, right? Loveliness, like, right? Kind of play around a little bit, whatever you want to do.
Loveliness like this is never taste if not enjoyed.
Nice. How'd loveliness feel?
A lot better, yeah.
Just kind of like, not so, you don't have to worry all of a sudden it's like, coming out.
Right. And then it kind of made it a phrase instead of, oh no, this high note, and then my registers, oh God.
Right. I hear that, right? The good loveliness like this is never, put that V on the bottom, is never, and then release, again, that same idea, crescendo, decrescendo, good V at the bottom, and then just release to the never chase. Try never, that part, never chase.
Is never, okay. Is never chase. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the chased was a lot better.
Yep. Yeah, you didn't feel like you had to like bring it back up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Go on.
Okay.
If not
enjoyed, it is just waste.
Great. That feels good?
Yeah, that feels good.
Amazing. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to say for the wake up Lucretia part, it's super very much, wow, that's like Mary Poppins. It's supercalifragilistic in your voice. It's very much just like in your speaking voice, right? Wake up, wake up. So as you're thinking about it, really just speak it, right? Wake up, wake up, wake up, Lucretia, right? Wake up, Lucretia, wake up. And every time you're kind of holding any note, whether it's on the Lucretia or wake up, like have it mean something. It's like a little, I was going to say a little kid. It's because my 10-year-old's running around, but it's like somebody, you know, like when you, it's like you don't want to wake her up, but you want her to wake up.
Right.
And you're just hoping that if you're like intense about it, or if you're like, wake up, that, right, she'll wake up. So you just go through that and really think about all those wake up and use that way as if you were like blowing air on her. Wake up, Lucretia. Just to see whatever you can do to get her up.
Okay. Wake up, wake up, wake up, Lucretia. 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 Wake up, Lucretia.
Oops, sorry. How's that feel?
Good, yeah. A lot better. Like I could make more choices between the different wake ups.
Yeah, it's fun and it's exciting, right, for the listener because we're kind of like
Yeah.
Do that very end, the end one, Lucretia wake. Have fun a little more, Lucretia wake.
Okay.
See how that feels.
Wake up, Lucretia.
Wake. That's fun to hear that. Like, whoa, that's great sound. Great. And now, so tell me your concern again with this sort of last bit that you a little bit too soft, perhaps, or?
Yeah, I think maybe just a little bit too soft, and then it kind of might get off the support.
Okay, so let's do it soft, connected, and so this is where you really want to do all those crescendos and decrescendos. It'll give that kind of sensation of this sort of like not whispery because you're not going to be airy, but this the more dynamics you have, the more we hear the softs and the louds, right? So,
okay.
As blood, remember blood. That'll help too. Blood, red rubies. I know. Add the vowel.
Okay. Okay. As blood, red rubies set in ebony. Right out of breath, it's fine.
Wait, but you're using it, which is always important. I always feel like as long as you're using the air, you'll always kind of gain more and more and more. Did you like that though? Like keeping it kind of all this air flowing and.
Yeah. I love the kind of ebb and flow. It's like, I think it's really appropriate. It's kind of just like the waves of emotion that is in the situation, not just that he's feeling, but is kind of in everything that's going on.
Absolutely. I love it. Good. Go on. Her lips illumine the black lake of night.
Her lips illumine the black lake of night.
Nice. How's that feel?
Good, yeah. Yeah, it feels more engaged riding on the front edge of that vowel. It gives me more consistent buoyancy and loft that makes me feel like I have more control over the phrase.
Great. Fantastic. I love that. Freedom and yet control all at the same time in the best of ways, right? Flexibility.
Yes.
The ability to. Good, great. Go ahead and finish. This is fantastic.
Okay. To wake Lucretia with a kiss would put Tarquinius asleep awhile.
That's so great. That feels good.
Yeah, that felt really good.
Amazing. Just for fun. And you don't have to change anything because I think what you do is fantastic. But just for fun,
Okay.
to wake, a little more of that to wake, just to see what it feels like to be even more like gooey with the language. To wake Lucretia with a kiss, would put Tarquinius. I love that. Good. Asleep. That was great. Asleep. Sleep.
Okay.
Asleep a while. Just and anchor that with that kind of crescendo, decrescendo a little, and then release to that. That was really
Okay. To wake Lucretia with a kiss would put Tarquinius asleep awhile.
so pretty.
Thank you.
Did it feel good?
Yeah, it felt great.
What did you think about those little things? Did they feel okay? Was it like a lot of brain work?
Yeah, just a lot of brain work, but doing that kind of helps keep the phrase moving, and it kind of gives me the propulsion that I need to sort of get to the words that need the proper stress, and then get into that like high sort of wah meeks floaty place.
Yeah. That's
Floating
awesome.
in E4, yeah, what up?
Exactly. No, that was so fantastic. Thank you. Listen, thank you so much for
Oh, of course, thank you.
like throw whatever's at you and just being open to it, and then letting me know how it feels. Because again, it's not, everybody's different and different words kind of register differently for people and everybody's voices are different. So sometimes you'll say, try this. And I tend to try a lot of the same things with singers because I think that there are a lot of the same sort of, what we call them, I don't even want to call them habits, like just similar human things that we deal with when it comes to singing. And so a lot of times we can all kind of benefit from some of the same breathing or like space and stuff like that.
Right.
And sometimes, like you said, if it feels a little nasal, then we have to figure out what is it that you're hearing that feels maybe nasal. And maybe you're hearing versus feeling. Maybe you're not. Maybe I need to, be more aware. And so that's really, I just super appreciate the feedback as well.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Great job. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Super impressive. Okay. It's so nice to meet you. And I'm going to stop recording.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.